Praise the Lord. We thank God for another brand new day and a brand new season. We are still in the season of love. There's love in the air. Love is smelling everywhere. Love is flowing everywhere. For the past two weeks or 3 weeks or so, I've gotten myself involved with weddings, with the traditional marriages, and love is, it's everywhere. You can smell it, you can feel it, you can touch it, you can behold it. Love is just everywhere. Today, I want to continue with our message on love foundation. And we read our text for even the message is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 1 to 3. Paul says there are those who can speak with the tongues of men and the tongues of angels. And there are those who can do other mighty works. And there are those who can even dare offer their very life, even to be offered to people in charity. But Paul said, all these things can be done, but without the proper foundation of love. Anything we do for God and for men, without the foundation of love, Paul counted as nothing. In other words, it won't fly, it will not be established, it will not stand, it will not yield results, it will not yield fruit. Then our lives become like the fig tree Jesus cursed in Mark chapter 11. A fig tree that was occupying space, a fig tree that has grown from seed even to seedling and then become a tree, but it was only producing leaves and not fruits. And Jesus, out of frustration or out of dissatisfaction, placed a curse upon that tree and said that henceforth shall no man eat of that tree. And indeed the following day they passed by the same root, and Peter took note that the fig tree has withered from the roots. May we never become like the fig tree, who was standing there but had no fruit to offer to God and offer to mankind. Love is the foundation for everything we do. Love is the foundation of marital relationship. Love is a foundation for working relationship in the marketplace. Love is a foundation for the relationship we build all around us, peer relationship, family relationship, all the relationship we see around. Love is the foundation. Without love, there is nothing like relationship, there is nothing like peace, there's nothing like harmony, there's nothing like having peace in our place. Now let's look at number 4 in verses 2. Number 4 principle from verses 2a of 1 Corinthians 13. Number 4 principle. Being prophetic without love is being a non-entity. Being prophetic without love is being a non-entity. The word non-entity means nothing, poor, empty, with no substance. So Paul said, if I'm prophetic and I can be able to know things and do things and walk in the power ministry, in the supernatural, heal the sick, raise the dead, open the eyes of the blind, cause the cripple to walk, and all the things that we desire to do as believers in the power ministry, but we don't have love, Paul says that we are empty, we will be rejected, we cannot be a legal tender, and we cannot be used as a divine currency by God. We need to understand that. So being prophetic without love is being a non-entity and being poor. Today, a lot of us want to be prophetic because we think we can make gains. We think when you are prophetic, you'll be popular. When you are prophetic, you'll be prosperous. Because people believe in the supernatural. But Paul is saying that love should be the drive. Love should be the motive. Love should be key. Love should be everything that drives us. Those of us who walk in the prophetic ministry and operate prophetically. Number 5, verses 2b. The principle here that Paul was teaching them, that unraveling mysteries and breaking codes, lacking love, make us clueless. So we can actually decode almost everything. It says, if I have knowledge into mysteries, and I can discern into things, and I can break codes and bring out hidden things, but I do not have love, Paul is saying that then we are clueless. So unraveling or decoding mysteries with that love makes us clueless. Makes us clueless. So in other words, love is what gives us clue into things. So whatever we desire from the Lord as gifts and abilities and graces, let us make sure that love will be the base, the foundation we will desire to have and to build. Because when the foundations be destroyed, the righteous can do nothing. Unraveling mysteries and breaking codes, lacking love, makes us clueless. In other words, whatever we decode, we must decode with love. Whatever I decode as a prophet, whatever I decode with the knowledge God has given me, the spirit of discernment, I should be able to decode with love. So love becomes a decoder. Love is the inverter. Love is a converter. I need the love of God in order to have clues into mysteries. Number 6 verses 2c. Number 6 verses 2c. Operating the supernatural without a superstructure, which is the love foundation, will bring us to a crash. Anything we do without love will crash. Anything we do without love will be trash. Anything we do without love will be burnt. So we can never operate the supernatural without a superstructure, which is love, our foundation. If we do, there'll be a crash, and eventually God will trash our works when our works passes through fire. Number 7. Verses 3a. Reaching out with no love is like the body without a spirit. Reaching out with no love is like the body without the spirit. And we know what it means when there's no spirit in the body. The Bible defines death. One of the meanings of death is the body without the spirit. So when we reach out to people, Paul says, if I give my body, burn my body, in order for people to be fed, in order for people to have comfort, in order for people to have breakthroughs and blessings, but I have no love, what it simply means is that I'm reaching out, but I don't have love. There are people who are believed to be philanthropists in this world, but they are doing business. Like they say in America, there's no free lunch. They have names, they have made names, and they have been acclaimed by the world. But they are being philanthropists because they are doing business. That's not what Paul is saying. So love is not being a philanthropist. Love is being one who sacrifices his all, just like God who made him, who give the first and the best, sacrificially, unconditionally, without any strings attached. That is the kind of love we are talking about here. That is agape love. That is agape love. So when I reach out with no love, it is just like the body without the spirit. Paul says that when we do that, we can be burnt, we can die by giving something to the world. But if the motive is not love, if the motivation is not love, if the driver is not love, then we must understand that whatever sacrifice you have done, there will be nothing. Jesus died. Jesus gave himself. The Father gave Jesus on the cross to die. And he died out of love for the world. Otherwise, it would have been just a suicide, or it would have been a ritual murder. If Jesus' death had no love as a foundation, it would have been just a human sacrifice or a ritual murder by God. And God does no ritual murder. God does things based on love. Finally, verses 3b. Self-sacrifice without love is like cooking without seasoning. When you cook without seasoning, your food will be stale. Your food will be stale. So self-sacrifice without love is like cooking without seasoning. It's like cooking without seasoning. What it means is that love is a life with flavor. If you don't have love, then it means that your life does not have flavor. You are stale. I mean, when people eat you, they cannot tell who you are. When people engage you, they cannot tell the difference. When people meet you or you meet people, you cannot leave a smell, a flavor, a sweetness, an odor on them. But if you have been with someone, your odor, your smell, your fluids or things about you will begin to rub off that individual, vice versa. In conclusion, we gain no profit if we do not walk and work in love. There'll be no profit. There'll be no usefulness. There'll be no yield. There'll be no reward if we do things without love. So as we conclude this message, my brothers and sisters, the Lord is calling you and I even to a place where we need to walk in love. Well, we need to do everything in love. What is a gift you have to deploy? What is a service you have to render? What it is a love that you have to, kindness you have to show. Whatever there is that God ought us to do or we are expected to do, we must allow ourselves to be driven by the love of God. Love, you must remember, is our foundation, without which, no matter how we build, whatever structure we build, will not be able to succeed in anything we do. So we bless God for bringing us to the final part of Love Foundation. Remember, we have Love Foundation Part 1, Love Foundation Part 2. And I believe that whatever principle you have learned, God will help you to deploy it and become a man and a woman whose foundations for actions and expressions will be dependent and be based on the love of God. God bless you. I'll see you soon. Amen.